Let's take a look at adjusting row height and column width. Now I've typed in some nonsense titles here. I'm not a business major, so if you're reading these, it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't. Let's take a look at the column width first. You see how this says sales for and there's more there? If I put my mouse up here between the A and B, where it becomes a vertical line with arrows on both sides, I can click with my left mouse button and hold down and drag and manually change it to whatever I want. Even more, as you're doing that, you see it actually says the width. So that's one technique. Let me put this back to where it was. Now, if I have this chose, and I come up here to my Home tab, and I go over to my cells, and I go to Format, and I come down to these items down here. You see there's a column width here. There's also a auto fit column width, default width. Now, when I'm manually changing it, then I'm changing the column width, but this is a little bit different what they're talking about with these. We'll get more into those. Okay, so again, I can click that and manually set it. To auto fit, if you put your mouse between A and B, where it's a vertical line with arrows on both sides, and double click, then that'll auto fit it for your longest piece of data in that column. And so that everything will be showing no matter where it is row wise. Now if I do a Control Z to undo that, if I come up to my format under my cells, under the Home tab, and you see there's an auto fit here. Now it'll auto fit the column it's on. So it didn't fix B for us. Okay, another way you can do it is, so we looked at manually moving this, we moved to double clicking it. You can right click on the A here, and you see there's a column width. And this is where we type in a number. So for example, I type in 12, and now I'll make my column width 12. I'm going to do a Control Z, take that off. And again, back to the Home tab, and if I come up to Cells, go to Format, you see there's a column width here with a dot dot dot. If I choose that, this brings up the same item where I can type in a number. Now if you have multiple ones chose, like if I left mouse clicked on B and dragged over and selected C, then if I come up, well, if I double click these over here on this side, it auto fits both of them. So you can do multiple rows, multiple columns, all that. Okay. If I have both of those selected and I come up to my, again, Home tab, Cells, Format, and choose Auto Fit. Oops, let's try it again. Helps if I choose the right one. Okay. And go to, let's see, Home, and then Format, and then Auto Fit column width. It does the same thing. More sense that. Now let's take a look at the rows. Let me do a Control Z to put that back where it was. If I choose this one, I got a lot of text here, and I'm gonna click the under the Home, under the alignment, I choose Wrap Text. Now maybe this isn't quite like what I want. You know, it's, you might say, well, it's the best fit. Perhaps. Well, I could come up here and click and drag, so you can do manual like that. Again, I'm putting it between the C and D for the columns. But when I do that, then it didn't automatically fix the row height. Well, to fix row height, let's talk about different ways of doing that. You can put your mouse between the 1 and 2, where it becomes a horizontal line with arrows. With your left mouse button, click and hold down, and you can drag to make it however big you want. Now you can also double click on that line between the 1 and 2. When you put your mouse over it, it becomes that horizontal line. When you double click, that's the auto fit. Or if I'm on that row and if I come up here to the home and then the cells and then format, I can do the auto fit row height there. Let me do a Control Z to undo that. Another way, you can right click on the 1 here and choose row height, and then you can manually type in the number you want. So if I put in 50, it gives me that. And you probably guessed it, if I come up here to the format and I choose row height here, I can again type in the 50. So different ways you can adjust row height in column width.